Hello, Brilliant One. Welcome to Billionaire Brilliance with your coach, mentor, and guide, Anna McCoy. I'm a bit quirky, funny, fascinating, and absolutely serious about your good success. You're listening to the Business and Faith podcast for entrepreneurs to help you win in business and life.
Say what you see, believe you will be. Ooh, if you can see it, it's your mindset. You can achieve it, adjust your mindset.
Welcome to Billionaire Brilliance podcast with Coach Anna McCoy. Thanks for joining me today. Today's topic is one that I absolutely love, and hopefully this one won't be very long, but I get so excited about it because one of the things that I've learned is focus. Focus is everything. And when a mind can focus on a particular thing, the genius comes forth. And here's the thing I do know is distraction is the absence of intention. This is a quote, my quote. I learned it myself, and I'll tell you more about that in this podcast. But tune in to Focus with Coach Anna. Well, let's jump right into it. Focus. I'm telling you, I want to start this with this quote. Again, distraction is the absence of intention. I learned this quote. I went to a place called the Miraval Resort. I saw it on Oprah years ago, and she took a group of 60 women there, and they were doing all sorts of things. It was this resort around, mind, body, and spirit, and just kind of connecting with yourself, taking time out to be quiet and listen. So I wanted to have this experience, and so I went to the resort, and I was there for about 10 days, and I was having these experiences and learning from the exercises and the different things that the practitioners were showing us at that time. And so one of them was about mindfulness, and it was really about listening and focusing on listening, trying to hear and paying attention and being quiet. And so I had been taking a few of those classes, and then I was practicing, and I'd gone into this courtyard, and in the courtyard, I sat there and it was very quiet. So I thought, until I began to focus. Then I started to feel like I was, like a sound wave. If you're listening to a ripple sound wave, and it has like its center, and then it kind of goes out a little bit, then it goes out to another realm, then it goes out to another realm, and you hear that sound happening, like bouncing out like a ripple effect. And I was sitting there, and I just closed my eyes, and I started to listen. And I was just quiet, and it appeared to be quiet, but what I started to hear was the noise, like noise around me. It could have been an automobile. It could have been birds chirping. It may have been fountains flowing, just people talking. And I was hearing that. That was kind of in the first realm of my listening. And then the more intent I got on just being quiet and truly just trying to focus and center myself, I started to hear things in the distance. Like it would go out to the next realm. I would hear, and I knew they weren't in my general proximity, that it would go out to the next realm. And this would be away, which meant I couldn't really see because I would open my eyes because, again, I'm practicing how to listen, how to be fully present in that moment, learning how to hear and learning how to perceive what was happening in those moments. And as I sit there, then the next realm, I may have heard a person maybe walking, but I couldn't see them because maybe they were behind something. They were out of my space. So I could hear that. Then I would hear maybe a door slam that seemed to be in the distance. And then I would hear, in this case, a siren, like ambulance or a police siren that I heard in the far distance. Like I could hear that my hearing was expanding in the silence, if that makes sense. So while I'm sitting there and this is after maybe about 10 minutes of stillness and listening, and all of a sudden I heard the click of a camera that was nowhere around me, but I heard it. And that was like surprising to me because I couldn't see it, but I could hear it because my hearing had become so focused that, again, in the silence, sound expanded. So after a few minutes, I heard the footsteps and I heard the clicking of the sound of the camera, like a 35 millimeter camera coming closer and closer. And there it was, a person taking pictures of the landscape. And I'm telling you this story is because what is so amazing about your ability to focus in your mind that is so brilliant and amazing is that you have this power. And here's the challenge is that your billionaire brilliance will always be challenged by distraction. And distraction is simply the absence of intention. And in that little illustration I just shared with you, I was showing you how I began to sit here and I began to focus and I began to set my intention in stillness to listen for the volume of noise in the silence. And so what I've also learned is that when I hear, not only physically, but I can do that spiritually, to hear more clearly by setting my intention, by focusing in stillness, by becoming more at one with myself, like at peace with myself, and setting a space for me to have an experience, to hear, to listen, to observe, to perceive. And so this podcast is all about helping you to understand the power of focus and what it's going to entail for you to begin to focus on those things that matter, to focus on yourself, to focus on your welfare, to focus on how you think, to focus on your joy, to focus on your love, to focus on your passion, how you show up in the world, how you do the work that you do, how you love the relationships, the people in your life. All of this is important in focus. Focus will do this one thing. It will bring out genius in you. And genius is of course, it is the natural ability as well as exceptional intelligence, our creative power. But that natural ability that's been dormant in you, when you begin to focus on things, you'll find out the things that were hidden, the things that were dormant when you begin to focus. If you focus in your work product, you'll produce a better work product. If you focus in your relationship, you'll produce more loving acts if you focus. All right, so let's talk about what focus means. And I'm going to use an acronym for focus. And take out your notes, write this down. The first thing is focus. The F is you have to have a fierce commitment to future. Understand what I am challenging you to think about. A fierce commitment to future. See, focus requires you in a moment to establish that you have a fierce commitment to future, to something that's not in your moment, that you are establishing for a future moment. So when you're ready to focus on a project, you're ready to focus on a proposal, you're ready to focus on a relationship, you are expecting something to happen, something to change, something to be in a future moment that may have great outcome for you. Focus, a fierce commitment to future. Feel it, experience it, hear my voice on this. To focus, the F stands for fierce commitment to future. Okay, so before I go further, let me just say to you, fierce, all right? Fierce means it requires you to have or to display an intense or ferocious aggressiveness about that thing you're committed to in the future. And what it means is you have to be relentless. That means you have to say no to say yes. You have to say, I can't go with you now because I have to do this. I can't talk to you now because I have to do this. You have to be intense and keen about your decision in that moment. You have to be decisive, that you have a fierce commitment to future. That means it's extreme. Sometimes you got to go the extra mile to be focused. The next one is O. O stands for outcome alignment. Outcome alignment. That you align with the outcome that you see. This is imperative. Alignment is so important. Alignment has to do with you not just kind of getting along with something. You know what I mean? You're just not kind of, oh, this is cool, this is whatever, What alignment is really about, it is a position of agreement. That's what alignment is. So when it comes to focus, you have to position yourself with agreement on your outcome. And if you are challenged to do anything else that's less than the outcome, you are going to have to say no. So it's a fierce commitment to the future. It's outcome alignment, which is simply a position of agreement on your outcome, on your results, not your goals, on your outcome and your results, mean you see the end before the beginning. The next one is C. It is that you must have clear intentions and standards. So when you're trying to say, I don't have clarity, I can't really focus on this, I'm giving you a step. I'm giving you the billionaire brilliance you need to focus your intention so that you can be intentional and not be distracted over and over, morning after morning, day after day, hour after hour, delaying, procrastinating, never finishing, never completing the thing that you know you are to do. Anna, I'm just talking to myself, people. So the C is for clear intentions and standards. Clear intentions. Remember, distraction is the absence of intention, meaning that anything can have its way with you. Anything can grab your attention. Anything can cause you and sway you to do the different thing, to move you off your position of agreement with the outcome alignment. Clear intentions and standards. All right, let's talk about this word standards. We live in a society where no one wants to hold up to the standard. We don't want standards. Everybody wants to do things on their own. They want to have it their way. They want to do their thing. Okay, but here's the thing about standards. Standards are just principles of conduct. And I love this one. Informed by notices of honor and decency. You got to have some standards for yourself. Care enough about yourself. Honor yourself enough to do the things that are important for you. Oh boy, come on. I'm here to what? Challenge the way you think about yourself, about your own personal greatness, about your own ability, about your exceptional talent, about the mastery that you carry, about this power, this greatness that is within you, this brilliance that you know to be true about yourself. So when I think about this word, standard, it's raising a standard for yourself, raising a standard for your highest good. It is the principles of conduct informed by notions of honor and decency, the morals, the code of honor, the code of behavior, the ethics, the ideals that you have for yourself. One of my standards that I have adopted recently is I ask this question when I am asked to be a part of things or to do things. Is this for my highest good? That's the question I ask of myself, no matter how great it appears, no matter how great the offer might be, no matter how great the need of the other person is this for my highest good? When I am able to answer that question, I can gain clarity around these things, and I can have a clear intention, and I can operate within my standard. And my standard is the question, is this for your highest good? If you do this, Anna, is it for your highest good? I do know this, and my experience is if I choose to do things for my highest good in that moment, regardless to what pressures I feel, regardless to what I perceive people might be thinking about me or judging about me, it doesn't matter how much someone else needs to be rescued or helped. Is this for my highest good? So when it comes to focus, we are fiercely committed to future. What is this future outcome? Because O is for outcome alignment. In your positioning of agreement to the outcome is imperative. And then clear intentions and standards are necessary. So my standard question, is this for your highest good? Because when I say yes to you, I say no to me. I say no to a project deadline. I say no to a potential opportunity. I say no to my peace being disrupted. I say no to things, and I say yes to you. Focus. The U is for unapologetic drive for execution. Now, this is what we call action. You have to have a desire to be a doer, unapologetic drive for action or execution. And here's the thing about unapologetic, it's not about apologizing. What it really means is that you're not going to acknowledge people, you're not going to express regret for you choosing to execute on these ideas or for you choosing to take action when other people don't always understand. You're not going to acknowledge or apologize or think less of yourself because you are doing what you know to do because there is no regret. So there must be a unapologetic drive. So there must be this energy about you, this thing that gives you the energy and the passion to do it, to become a doer. The S is for self-discipline. Self-discipline, my mentor taught me almost 30 years ago. Discipline is to delay gratification. Let the lesser things die so that the greater ones may live. My mentor is Al Hollingsworth. This is one of the principles from his program, Boss the Movement and Vertical Leap, that you can still take online and you can still have your children go through these boss principles to be greater humans in the world. But to practice self-discipline is to delay gratification, meaning let the lesser die. Don't you see how the unapologetic drive for execution supports your discipline? It supports it. It supports it by you not acknowledging or expressing regret for the things that you're choosing to do. And your most powerful tool in the world, we call it free will, but it's choice. It's how you show up and you choose to do. You choose it. You're not the victim of your life. You are the co-creator of your life. And so when we think about the word self-discipline, it means to delay gratification. These 5 principles can change the way you do life, period. These 5 things: fierce commitment to future, outcome alignment is imperative, clear intentions and standards, unapologetic drive for execution, not feeling regret around your decisiveness, your ability to make a decision, your ability to not go with the crowd, your ability to work on what is going to bring you the highest good in that moment. In self-discipline is delay your gratification. Let the lesser die so the greater works within you will live, that they will prosper, that they will show, that they will be planted for the day and they will yield a produce, or they will be productive for you in the future. And you will not be distracted, because distraction is simply the absence of intention. So be intentional today about what is important to you. And if nothing else, I would encourage you to write down or go to billionairebrilliance.club, find the resources. I'll have this information from the show notes for you. Download it, make it pretty, do whatever you want to do. Put it on your board and start refocusing your mind and your heart and your spirit to be about producing your highest good through focus. You've been listening to Coach Anna on Billionaire Brilliance podcast. Thank you for joining me today. Share it with a young person between the ages of 20 to 35. That is the people that I want to impact and transfer legacy, knowledge, and lived experience to. And thank you so much for joining me. If you want to know more about me, you can go to unapologetic.com or you can join my community at billionairebrilliance.club. Have a great day until our next episode. You are loved, you are appreciated, you are celebrated and valued. Blessings to you. Enjoy and love and passion. Coach Anna. You're listening to the Business and Faith podcast on how to unlock your billionaire brilliance with Coach Anna McCoy to be more confident, make more money, and achieve your wildest dreams in business and in life.